Hey, what's up you guys, it's Disturbed, and today I'm going to be showing you guys an in-depth guide on how to be an absolute beast in the Dark Zone, whether or not it be for going rogue solo or with a full group. In this guide, I'll show you how to melt people while sustaining a tanky build by going over all the gear you need, talents, and skills. It's a pretty long video, but trust me, it's totally worth it. So, let's begin. Alright, so in terms of your gear, there's multiple things that you want to take into account. One of them is that your primary DPS stat is complete and total bullshit. Don't listen to it, please. It doesn't take multiple things into account. I could make a separate video on this, but multiple people have made a video about it. It would be kind of redundant if I did. So just pay attention. I mean, just make sure that when you're making your set of gear, don't base it off of that DPS stat, because it does not mean anything. I assure you, I do way more than that against mobs. I hit people for over 150,000 to the head with a critical hit on my vector, so I'm pretty sure I'm doing a little bit more than 197,000 DPS, so please don't listen to that. Another thing to take into account is that my gear is not perfect. You can definitely improve upon it, so please don't think that I have god roll everything. Most of my stuff is pretty ideal as of right now. I can still melt people pretty easily, but there are a few things that I could tinker around, but it's not necessary. But I just want to make that clear that I don't have everything perfect. So don't look at me and think that I'm a complete god, even though I am, but still, you know what I mean. So starting off, with the primary weapon. You want an SMG ideally, and your rolls are really important in this. My critical hit chance is kind of low on this, but it's not that big of a deal because I got brutal, swift, and responsive. Responsive is a really good one in PvP. Brutal is nice, but it's kind of hard to land headshots in PvP unless you're really close to them, so I wouldn't attempt for brutal. Responsive is really nice. Another thing would be armor destruction. That one is pretty good too. And then another one, fierce, is pretty nice, and deadly. So just try to get a good roll. It takes fucking forever. I don't have the best roll, but mine seems to melt people pretty fast. So if you can get something with some of those top tier talents, you should be doing pretty good for yourself. Another thing for the secondary weapon, I'm rolling with a black market AK-74 simply because it has balance, which makes it really accurate, self-preserved, which heals me for a shit ton, heals for every 3% for every critical hit, and if I'm critting for, usually I crit for about 170k with this weapon to the head. If somebody uses a pulse, that's a pretty good chunk of my health back. I can't do the math on that, but you can quote me for it, 3%. And then you want to get brutal on it. It's just something along these lines. Your secondary weapon doesn't matter that much. It's all about that SMG though. Pistol doesn't matter at all. In terms of your gear, you want to have a 3 set of Striker's Mask. Sorry. The reason you're doing this is for the 50% critical hit damage. The 4 set is complete ass right now. The 2 set, I'm not sure if it actually does anything, but a 20% enemy armor damage is pretty nice for PvE nonetheless. The reason I wouldn't recommend Path of Nomad is because 100% scavenging is garbage, the 3 set is garbage, and the 4 set is garbage. Every 10 minutes, come on now, you got Survivor Link, med kits, and everything else. You don't need that shit, especially when you got all the damage buffs from those. So another thing to take into account is that you want to have somewhat high stamina, and then like kind of balanced stamina and kind of balanced firearms, which is a little bit more firearms. Depends on what you like more. I like to have more firearms and be a little bit more glass cannon, but you still want to stack health. Another thing you want to stack is armor. As you can see right here on my armor, I got 58% mitigation. It could be higher, but 58% seems to do pretty well for me. I could probably switch out the mod slot on my holster for more armor, and that would put me up at probably max. But you know, it is what it is. That's one of the things that I could switch out. But anyways, moving on. For chest piece, you want to get Gunslinger Vest. This is really important. It'll increase your damage by 13%, which is huge, and it'll increase incoming damage by 10%. But as of right now, that's bugged, so you can just disregard that. And what it does is it actually makes you decrease incoming damage by 10%. So basically 10% damage resistance. Huge. And then I got armor on here. As long as you have, try to get around the same amount of armor that I have, about 4,000 to 4,500 is ideal. So you don't stack armor on everything if you already have a cap, which is 65%, I do believe. So yeah, then I got 9% protection from elites and a mod slot. Mod slots are pretty important for stacking. You can stack armor and other things, crit chance, firearms, just to balance out your stuff. For the mask, I got exotic damage resilience, which is pretty helpful, but armor would probably be better. And then I got increased kill XP, and then just make sure it has a mod slot on it again. Knee pads don't really matter much, just make sure to get critical hit damage. And then I got 10% enemy armor damage, which is pretty helpful, and then I got a mod slot. These are pretty god roll. honestly, but it is what it is. Backpack, I got 18% critical hit damage. That's pretty helpful. Minor attributes, you might be able to get enemy armor damage. I'm not sure, but the minor attributes don't really focus on it that much. Just make sure you got critical hit damage and mod slots on these pieces. That's the most important thing because it is hard to get the set pieces anyways. And then in terms of gloves, I got these 204 gear score ones that I bought from the DZ02 vendor, I believe. Make sure it has Savage on it. This is absolutely amazing. Critical hit chance increased by 14% against targets out of cover. If you're killing guys like with this, 13% critical hit chance is huge, 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 huge. That's why my current critical hit chance isn't that high, because I have these. Or that sounds retarded, but I'll get into it in a little bit. But I have 35% critical hit damage, 10% damage to elites, and 6% critical hit chance. You'd probably be able to change the damage to elites, but I crafted these on intention for PvE. But then right after I got my Sentry's Call, which is way better for PvE. Some of you might ask, why isn't Sentry's Call better for PvP? I personally haven't used it in PvP, or I have, but I just think that having these gloves and this chest piece is better than having a 4 set of Sentry's Call, because usually also the critical hit damage, the way that it stacks up with this glove and this chest piece is absolutely amazing. But instead of getting the 4 set, I would go for the way that I have it now, because I mean, I melt people so quickly that 3 shots will kill them, usually to the head. So there's no point in me getting extra damage on them when 3 shots will usually kill them to the head. So I don't know, take it or leave it, it's up to you. By the way, I never went over the mods. So the mods that I have, I got crit hit chance and headshot damage, extended mag with critical hit chance. You could change this, or critical hit damage, I mean, you could change this to rate of fire if you wanted to. It would probably be pretty good, but I just like the extra critical hit damage. And then hip fire mod doesn't really matter. And then muzzle brake, you want to get critical hit damage on it. Once you have all that, you should be an absolute beast. Now, in terms of modding your gear, you want to have things kind of balanced. I have just, you know, a little bit more firearms and stamina, so it doesn't really matter what rolls you get on your gear as long as you can balance it out with mods. Just make sure you have mods and everything, because that actually plays a huge role. If your armor isn't maxed out like mine isn't, you can get some type of firearms mods that have armor on them. Those are pretty helpful. And then if you don't have any armor ones, you can go for critical hit chance, or you can go for ones that have things like health. So it's really up to you, but my critical hit chance, as I was going to say before, is only 38%, but with those Savage gloves, going rogue on people, it's over 50%, and then if I pulse, I'm basically getting 100% critical hit chance, with 215% critical hit damage, plus the critical hit damage that I get from the pulse. I'm just absolutely melting kids, and I'll show some clips afterwards for that. And then my headshot damage, 144% because I got brutal on it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have everything perfect right now. I probably could get a 204 gear score chest piece. Probably could increase my armor by replacing a mod slot on here. I probably could maybe lose a little bit of stamina or gain a little bit of stamina. I don't know. The way that I have it set up now seems to work amazing for me. So it's really all up to personal preference. Once you get up to a hiatus like this, you don't really need to change it that much. Like I'll show you some clips, but I was just completely melting kids earlier today with my friends. So yeah, that's basically it for that part. Alright, so as far as skills go, it really depends on what your preference is, honestly. I like to use Zapper Turret, but if you have 4 people, what I think would be ideal is to have 2 people using Zapper Turret, and then 2 people using Pulse, and then everybody using Overdose First Aid or Booster Shot First Aid. I really like Overdose, but as I said before, it's preference. Sticky Bomb Flashbang can be pretty good, and Seeker Mine with Gas Charge can also be pretty good. For the super ability, everybody wants to be using Survivor Link. This is absolutely amazing. No doubt about it. This is pretty garbage. 50% damage up. Yeah, right. Instant heal. Yeah, right. Fucking terrible when you have a med kit and stuff. So, yeah, that's it for that. Alright, so starting off with the talents, you want to have Combat Medic. 100% of the time, use a med kit and your allies to heal group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%. This is actually, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's bugged or not, but it makes it to where every time that you use a med kit, you just go to full health all the time, so it's absolutely amazing. Must have. Next one, critical save. Use a med kit during low health to increase damage resistance by 40% for 10 seconds. So every time that you use a med kit, it reduces the amount of damage that you increase. Huge, 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 huge buff right there. And then another one is none. Headshot a hostile to have a 50% chance of not consuming the bullet. I'm not sure how amazing this is for PvP, but if you get a lot of headshots on people, it just keeps returning the bullets, so it's a really nice talent to have right there. Next one, on the move. Kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 30% for 10 seconds. So basically every time that you kill somebody, it just removes it reduces incoming damage by 30%, because every time that you kill somebody in PvP, you're most likely going to be moving or something like that. Rarely do you kill people in cover, so that's a huge thing there, and yeah, that's it for the perks. So here my friend was nice enough to let me do a little demonstration on him. So as you can see, I pulse, and then I just bloop, absolutely fucking melt him, just to show you how amazing this is, just to put it into slow-mo. So here, my friend is going to pulse behind me. Oh, he runs around for a second. My friend is going to pulse behind me. I aim in, shoot him right in the head. Boom, 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 boom. Didn't even take me 10 bullets. Instant death. Amazing. Alright, so for the rest of the video, I'm just going to put in a few little clips here. I got a bunch more, but I didn't want to sit here through 3 hours of footage and, you know, search and try to nitpick and find the very best ones. So I just found ones that I thought were pretty cool. So if you want to just see how the build actually plays out, I have a group of 3 people in one clip, and then a group of 4 people in a few other clips. So if you're interested in seeing that, just watch the rest of the video. I'll put some music on to sit back and relax. But yeah, if you don't want to, that's fine. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please drop a like and maybe subscribe if you want to see videos similar to this one. Later, guys.